to other topic in second sem MA Economics Public Finance. That is, question is that what are the important theories of taxation and explain ability to pay theory. This is one of the important essay in second sem MA Economics Public Finance. What are the important theories of taxation and explain ability to pay. There are so many theories of taxation introduced since 1980, that is during 18th century. Number of theories that is expressed or advocated or introduced 18th century. Among these, the important theories systematically explained are, that is the theories like, first there is a physiocratic theory, second financial theory, third is here there is a cost of service theory, and fourth is that here there is a equity principle, and fourth is that, then fifth is that here there is a benefit principle, and sixth is that ability to pay theory. These are the important theories of taxation, that is since 18th century. That is, before 18 there are so many theories, but systematic explanation of or systematic way of theories of taxation introduced, that is after the second half of 18th century. That is that the first is that physiocratic theory, and second is that financial theory, and third is that cost of service theory, and fourth is equity principle, and fifth is benefit principle, and last is ability to pay theory. So these are the main important theories of taxation explained since 18th century. So the essay is that which are the important theories of taxation and discuss ability to pay theory. So in order to, that is before the ability to pay, what are the important theories of taxation here? The first, that is here there is a physiocratic theory. The first theory is known as physiocratic theory. This is one of the oldest theories of taxation. Physiocratic theory, this is one of the oldest theories of taxation, introduced in France. Firstly, it introduced in France. At the same time, according to their opinion, that revenue collected by the government only from land, or that is according to their opinion, land is only productive. So the revenue to the government mainly from land or agriculture. Agriculture is the important source of revenue to the government because agriculture is only productive during that period. So it produces net return. Agriculture is only productive, at the same time land or agriculture it produces net return. So the main source of government from taxation from land or agriculture. This is the idea contributed by physiocratic theory. Physiocratic theory is one of the oldest theories of taxation. It started in France. According to their opinion, tax is collected, that is tax is collected from land or agriculture. According to their opinion, land is only productive or agriculture is only productive. So there is revenue to the government, or the tax, that is important source of revenue to the government only from land or agriculture. That is, agriculture is only the important factor or sector producing net surplus or net return. So these are the main important point in the case of physiocratic theory. That is one of the oldest theory. Then this is mainly started in France. According to their opinion, agriculture is productive or land is only producing net return. So the tax, the important source of revenue to the government or tax mainly from agriculture or land. So these are the main important points included in the physiocratic theory. Which are the important criticism or drawbacks existed in physiocratic theory that for the importance for the formation of next theory? Which are the drawbacks or which are the problems of the, or which are the important criticism of physiocratic theory? Mainly, one of the important criticism is that this was against modern age of industrialization. Modern age of industrialization. This theory is not practiced or not applied in the case of industrialization. According to their opinion, land is only creating net return or net surplus. Other sectors like secondary and service sector, they are considered as unproductive. So, does not accept that is the modern age of industrialization or does not introduce the industrialization in our economy. That does not agree or reject the modern age of industrialization. That was the first criticism. And second is that tax revenue from agriculture, this is not sufficient for modern days of government expenditure. That is, tax revenue is from agriculture. Tax revenue mainly from agriculture. This is not sufficient to meet modern expenditure or expenditure of the modern government. That is mainly the income from agriculture. Income from agriculture compared to other two sectors, they are not sufficient to meet the expenditure of the government. That's modern days, increasing the expenditure of the government, agriculture income is not sufficient. So here there is a necessity of to tax that is non-agriculture sectors like industry and service sector. The second important defect is tax revenue from agriculture is not sufficient to meet the expenditure of the modern government or modern expenditure here. And third is that this theory was against the principle of ability and justice. That's according to their opinion, land is only productive. In that case, this theory that mainly tax the farmers or the agriculturists. Other, that's industrialists, businessmen, other factors or other individuals are escaped from the payment of tax. In that case, this was against the, that's physiocratic theory was against the principle of justice and ability. And fourth is that in the case of physiocratic theory, this is very difficult to estimate. To calculate tax on land or agriculture, this is very difficult to calculate. These are the main criticism or shortcomings of physiocratic theory. That is, first is that this is not applied in the case of modern age of industrialization. Then tax revenue from agriculture is not sufficient. Then this was against the principle of ability and justice. And last is that very difficult to estimate or calculate. These are the main important shortcomings of the physiocratic theory. Then second important theory is known as financial theory. That is after the physiocratic theory. The second important theory is known as financial theory. The importance of financial theory is that minimum resistance from the public, that's minimum resistance from the public and maximum revenue collected by the government. This is the main important principle here. Minimum resistance from the public and maximum revenue collected by the government. It shows that minimum resistance from the public. That is, this theory, after the physiocratic theory, this theory is mainly support to the modern period or modern age. According to their opinion, to reduce the resistance from the public show that minimum sacrifice among the individual, at the same time maximum revenue to the government. Government, the minimum resistance from the public show that reduce public resistance. Whenever public or individual resistance comes down, because that is sacrifice or burden of taxation, it reduced as far as possible. At the same time, maximum amount collected by the government. Maximum revenue to the government, at the same time, it can satisfy the condition of minimum sacrifice or minimum burden or there is minimum resistance from the public. That's the main importance of the financial theory. That is, after the physiocratic theory, that is, this theory mainly advocated modern age or modern period. According to their opinion, minimum resistance from the public and maximum revenue to the government. Based on this, it shows that minimum sacrifice or minimum burden to the individual, at the same time government collect maximum revenue to the government. So according to their opinion, that is in the case of other sectors, that is not only from agriculture, other sectors also productive. So based on this maximum amount collected by the government like second and third sector. According to their opinion, industrial sector is more productive compared to the first or agricultural sector. So based on this, which are the drawbacks of the financial theory for the introduction of cost of service principle? There are two important drawbacks, there are two important difficulties or limitations in the case of financial theory is that first is that it mainly affects the poor section compared to the richer section. In the case of financial theory, mainly affect the poorer section rather than the richer section. And second drawback is that there is no place that is in modern state or modern condition. That financial theory had no place in modern age or modern situation. This is not practical, not practice in the case of modern period or modern state. These are the two important criticisms. The first is that financial theory mainly affects the poorer section, and second is that this is not an important position in modern state or modern age. These are the two important drawbacks or criticism in the case of the financial theory.